Alright guys, welcome back again to some more of the Great Ace Attorney 2. So, it looks like we got hit with a twist in this particular part of the game, and without spoiling much guys, I'm just gonna let you see for yourselves. But right now, it's getting real exciting, and I look forward to continuing on. So with that said, let's keep it rolling. Alright guys, and we are back. So, to the matter of your husband's disappearance, when did you realize he was missing? Please try not to laugh. It was yesterday. Sorry? Yesterday? That really is recent. Laughably so. The truth is, my husband does at times have occasion to spend the night away for his work. It's not at all of the ordinary for him not to return home at night, but this is different. For him not to make any contact for a whole day. That has certainly never happened before. Oh, my dear Daly, whatever could have happened? My dear Mrs. Vigil, please calm yourself. Now then, have you contacted the police? Why, naturally, but sadly, they refuse to listen to my pleas as my husband has only been missing for one day. I was asked to wait patiently at home. In truth, Mrs. Vigil, I concur with the police. However, let us not be hasty. I see no reason why we should not engage my deductive powers to track your husband down anyway. Oh, thank you, Mr. Sholmes. And furthermore, let me assure you, a chance to solve the greatest problem known to man for another month has no bearing on my decision. I seek only to put a sweet smile on another Londoner's face. That really is all there is to it. You have my eternal gratitude. I shall pay any sum you care to mention. The secret language of Herlock Sholmes. You seek only to put this sweet's rent in your landlady's purse. That's all there is to it. Thank you for everything you have shared with us, Mrs. Vigil. I believe I have all the information I need to begin my investigation. Oh, please report to me soon with good news, sir. Fear not, madam. In a day or two, I shall be contacting you with a heartening report, I'm quite sure. So soon? Oh, how splendid, Mr. Sholmes. Good news should be delivered early, I always say. If you would be so kind as to leave the photograph of your husband in my possession. Alright, looks like we got more proof. Thank you. Now allow me to show you the door. Oh, by the way, guys, excuse the sniffles. I think I'm coming down with some allergies. It's pretty much allergy season for me, I believe, so just bear with me on that. I can't thank you enough, Mr. Sholmes. You've been simply marvelous. You know, I think it every time, Hurley. But how do you come out with such nonsense? Good news in a day or two? Are you sure? I can't be sure, of course, but then I didn't swear on it. I merely gave the good woman some hope. I hope to be able to give her good news, one might say. After all, the rent must be paid by the end of the day tomorrow. If by that time I have successfully located Mr. Vigil, we shall be mutually relieved. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Naruhodo? Don't look at me with those pleading eyes. Well, my dear fellow, did you hear the details of the case? Yes, my hearing is surprisingly good, actually. Excellent. And what did you make of it? Well, I was surprised to learn where her husband worked. At Barclay Prison, I mean. Ah, so you noted that. Of course, especially with the mention of Lowgate Cemetery. Ah, hold on a second. Lowgate Cemetery is at the rear of Barclay Prison. So it was renowned among us students at the university for being haunted by the ghosts of condemned convicts. Barclay Prison is where the notorious man was incarcerated. The professor. And now a warder from the prison has mysteriously disappeared, it would seem. It's all very peculiar. Indeed. But nothing you can't handle, I'm quite certain, Mr. Naruhodo. Sorry? Run along to the prison and see what you can glean. Would you? It's the prison governor you want. No doubt the man is equally worried. But aren't you gonna go yourself? Surely you needn't ask. I can't possibly be seen without with this hair. But didn't you go to Lime Street with that hair? That was quite a different matter. So I leave it in your capable hands. Now, if you excuse me, I'm rather busy. I still think it suits him. Of course you are. Alright, time to move to the prison. Barclay Prison is on the outskirts of London, backing onto a lonely burial ground. Its 4 high outer walls loomed quietly before us in the fog. Having requested a meeting, we were shown to the governor's office in the watchtower. 1st November, Barclay Prison, governor's office. Whoa, dude's big. This place is full of hardened criminals. I can never remember the last time a civilian was doing here. And you didn't want to talk to an inmate, but to me? Do you ken who I am? I'm the governor, Barry Caiden. Oh, yes, it's a pleasure. I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo, defense lawyer. And an Easterner, I see. Does that mean? Yes, I'm a visiting student of law from the Empire of Japan. Japan? Did he say Japan? Yes. Well, there's no any of your kind in here, laddie. Maybe you should try the prison next door, huh? I didn't notice another prison next door, sir. Anyway, I didn't like to be so direct, but I have no intention of speaking with the likes of you suspicious-looking Easterners. Now get out of my hair. So, as soon as he finds out that we're from Japan, he acts like this. That surely means... I think it's because of the professor's case. You think so too? 10 years ago, Genshin Asogi, also known as the Professor, was incarcerated at this prison. And then, after his execution, he apparently re-emerged from his grave in the cemetery behind the prison. I might have known. You're sniffing around about the case, aren't you? You're agent, huh? Part of the Professor's great web, no doubt. No, not at all. Get going with ya, before I punch your light tooth. We're going. Clearly, the ghost of that killer still haunts this place. We're not gonna get anywhere here, unless we can somehow prove to this man that there's nothing suspicious about us. Governor Caiden? What are you thinking, Mr. Sato? I feel sure that name came up in conversation recently somewhere. I was wondering if whoever mentioned him might have some ideas to help us. Come to think of it, I have the same feeling. Alright, we gotta move to, well, whenever the lag stops. Great Waterloo. That's Professor Mikotoba over there. Ah, hello you two. I was just taking a moment to catch up on the world now that I'm unpacked. But where's Judge Jigoku? Yes, he's not the relaxing sort. He's taking himself off to pay his respects to all the legal bigwigs. Having only just arrived in the country today? Goodness, he is full of energy. Professor, you mentioned something before. About how you known the prison governor at Barclay Prison? Oh, Governor Caiden, you mean? So it is the same man. Father, we must speak with the governor. But he refused to talk to us. He said we were suspicious Easterners. Well, I'm sure if I accompanied you, it would be a very different story. Oh, would you? That'd be wonderful if you have time now. Sadly, as you can see, I'm very busy at the moment. Busy drinking coffee on a comfortable settee? Now, I have a rather lot to prepare for tomorrow, you know. Oh, sorry. I didn't say that out loud, did I? You Mikotobas are alarmingly good at reading people's thoughts. Or could it be that you Naruhodos are alarmingly bad at hiding your thoughts? I feel like you guys are just good mind readers. Let's not fall out now. I have an idea. he writing on that piece of paper? Here's a letter of introduction for you. Hopefully, when he sees my name, he'll change his tune. Ah, thank you. That's what we needed. Okay. Good luck then. Alright, perfect. Time to head back. Alright, buddy, here we go. If you just cast your eyes over this, Governor Caiden. What's this then? You cannot pull the wool over my eyes, you good-for-nothing Japanese student. Mikotoba. That young jock from the forensics laboratory? That Mikotoba? Yes, exactly, him. Oh dear, perhaps I should have said something sooner. I'm Yuji Mikotoba's daughter, Susato. Jinx! You're the young man's daughter? And you didn't think to mention that before? I do apologize. Aye, well, you'd best take a seat then. Can I offer you a cup of tea, perhaps? And didn't forget to try one of these wee handcuff biscuits. Your father's influence is nothing short of amazing. I'm bitterly regretting not announcing who I was from the outset now. So then, what can I do for you, Hen? Well, we're currently investigating a case. It's one of your warders, you see. He's gone missing. Missing? That's right. It's surely been reported to you as well, being the prison governor. I have not heard nothing of the sort. There's no missing persons in my prison. Oh, but how can that be? It's Mr. Daily Vigil, your chief warder. Huh? Vigil? That's right. His wife came to us and asked us to investigate his disappearance. Let's skip the part about him only going missing yesterday for now. Clearly that means something to him. Would you be so kind as to tell us what you know, sir? Aye, of course. Alright, let's converse. We understand that Mr. Vigil is the chief warder here at the prison. Aye, that he was. Strong sense of responsibility and dedicated to the job, no doubt about it. He was a fine warder. Sorry, did you say was? Aye. He does not work here no more. He left the job. Oh my. When was this exactly? There's a question. When was it about? It cannot have been much less than 10 years ago now. What? 10 years ago? He stopped working here 10 years ago. Aye, as I mind it. You ken, I haven't heard the fella's name in all that time. That's a worry if he's gone missing though. But Mrs. Vigil made no mention of it. I think perhaps, Mr. Naruhodo, that his wife simply doesn't know. I think she's unaware that he no longer works here. Governor Caiden, can you tell us what happened? Why did Mr. Vigil give up his job here? That's important, is it? Yes, I believe it may be. What are you thinking, Mr. Naruhodo? I can't help wondering, given that it was 10 years ago. Ah! Which was exactly when the professor was being held at this prison. So Mr. Vigil actually resigned from the position of chief warder 10 years ago, you're telling us. What happened to make him leave the job? In actual fact, he didn't leave the job willingly. He had no choice in the matter. You mean, he was dismissed? It was after a particular walk. Sorry? A walk? Aye. That's our word for it in here. A walk to the gallows. And an execution? It's the job of the chief warder to prepare the gallows tree and oversee any executions you see. Only, Vigil did something unthinkable in the last walk he was manning. What did he do? I'm sorry, but I cannot reveal that information. But I can tell you that it's very rare for a chief warden to be relieved of his post. But why wouldn't Mrs. Vigil know about it? She appears to be under the impression that her husband still works here. I wouldn't have cared anything about that, I'm afraid. Can you perhaps answer one more question about the circumstances of his dismissal? And what would that be, Anne? That last execution that Mr. Vigil was responsible for overseeing. Was it by any chance the professor's? My thoughts exactly. I'm sorry, I really am. But I'm not at liberty to answer that. I see. My father came to Britain all those years ago in order to study forensic medicine. But you seem to have been well acquainted. The dead room, the prison, and the cemetery have a lot to do with one another. After all, they need fresh corpses for forensic research, do you get? Yes, I can imagine. The advancement of medical science isn't always particularly palatable. Your father worked in the laboratory just on the far side of the graveyard, in the basement of St. Sinner's. It's still in use today. St. Sinner's? It's come up before, I'm sure. Yes, that's right, we've been there. Mikotoba and I used to ride in a carriage together and negotiate terms. For more fresh material, I suppose. Aye, and we used to sit there for hours and gab on about dissection and all sorts. Aki takes me back. Over a pot of tea and a plate of cup biscuits, of course. How charming. He was a good fellow, your father, reliable and dead set on his work. But I'm afraid I'll never understand you Japanese. Because of Genshin Asogi, I suppose. Well, I cannot tell you anything else. Thank you so much for your time, Governor. Oh, one moment before you're away, Hen. I'm sure I have it here somewhere. Ah, found it. Here, take this as a wee souvenir of your visit to the prison. What is it? That's Vigil's dismissal notice. It's 10 years old now, of course. Oh my, are you sure? Aye, it's no trouble at all. It's not the original, mind. Alright, well, at least we got something. Thank you very much, Governor Caiden. Well, in return, do me a favor and never come back here. That case is closed. And yet, we may end up revisiting. Well, I think we ought to return to Baker Street for the time being. Yes, I agree. We need to report back to Mr. Sholmes with what we found about Mr. Vigil. What will he tell Mrs. Vigil, I wonder? We're back! Hello, you two! I thought you'd be back before long, so I baked some scones for us all. Ah! So, greetings, my dear fellows. And now you're blue. You've returned a good deal sooner than I was anticipating. Hello, Mr. Sholmes? Hello, Mr. Sholmes? Say nothing. Your thoughts are written all over your faces in any case. It turns out that it may have been advisable to test my hair color restoration tonic before application. Oh, my. Pray tell me, what of our warrior friend? Have you garnered some new information? Oh, yes. Something very surprising, in fact. Though it's not a patch on your hair, to be honest. It most certainly isn't. But so... Sholmes! Drop everything, Sholmes. This is more important. Gina? I can't Adam and Eve it. What's happened? Clearly a very grave matter indeed. For Miss Lestrade made no mention of my hair whatsoever. It's the boss. What do you mean, Inspector Gregson? The boss is... He's dead. What? They just found his body, shot with a pistol. What? But, Inspector Gregson? He was murdered? No, not Gregsy. Come in, my dear girl. Tell us the whole story. Let's find out what happened. Are you serious, Gina? Inspector Gregson was... He was really shot? I don't know much about what happened myself yet. They're still there, investigating the scene. Where did this take place? A little rented room in a building full of flats on Fresno Street. The outskirts of town, nowhere near his home. He was perhaps investigating a case then. The thing is, no one at the yard knows nothing about no case around there. Oh, how strange. The boss was... He was so good to me. I know I ain't up to much yet, but one day I was gonna show him. I'd become a proper detective. Oh, Ginny. Let's find out who the culprit is. So who did this? Do you have any idea who the culprit is? They got him already. Already? They've caught the shooter so soon? A witness reported something was going on and the boys got straight down there and took care of him. Who? What awful person did this? I still can't believe it myself. Gina? It was the Reaper. Wait a minute. You don't mean they've arrested Lord Van Zeeks for it? That's right. The Reaper's bloke gone and shot the boss. No. Lord Van Zeeks. Are you quite sure, Miss Lestrade? It's Baron Van Zeeks the police have arrested? I saw him with my own eyes in the interview room at the yard. I don't believe it. But there were witnesses, and they're all saying it was him. So you mean there were actually multiple witnesses? They heard the gunshot apparently. And when our lot got to the scene, there was only the boss and the Reaper bloke in the room. But there's no way Lord Van Zeeks would have taken Gregson's life. I just don't believe it. I don't believe it either. What is with the mind reading here? Thank you for informing us, Miss Lestrade. This really is the most terrible news. I'm dreadfully sorry. What are you saying sorry for? You didn't do nothing. Well, anyway, I'm taking a cab over to the scene right now. Please come and all, as soon as you can. You gotta help. It's a detective's lot to appear wherever some sinister plot has unfolded. Little wonder we all look haggard. Sometimes these things are almost too much for the nerves. Mr. Sholmes. What use is there in being a great detective if I fail to see something like this coming? How could I let this happen to Gregson? To Gregson. Mr. Naruhodo, I shall leave at once to begin my investigations. Of course, yes, we will too. It would be helpful if you could talk to Mr. Reaper and see what you can glean. I'm sure you were intending to do so anyway. Until later then. Inspector Gregson dead, and Lord Van Zeeks arrested. Bruno, Susie! I've called you a handsome. It's waiting outside. Thanks, Iris. Shall we, Mr. Sato? Yes! Alright guys, I'm going to end the video here for today. Thank you all for watching. This has been incredibly surprising because there's no way the Reaper is responsible for the death of Gregson. And I'm hoping Gregson isn't dead either. That would suck entirely. But anyways, guys, thank you again, and until the next one.